everybody, and welcome to Bottom Line with Roni and Byron. And today we have a lot to talk about. We're going to start with the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners and their approach to redistricting.
And in national news, we'll talk about President Biden's hope to solve holiday shipping crime.
And then we'll switch to sports and talk about your high school, college football, as well as John Gruden.
Entertainment, we'll talk about Brett Favre and how he must return $828,000 in welfare funds to Mississippi or face a civil lawsuit, state auditors say.
And our relationship tea topic today is, what do you do when your relationships cause you to compromise your values? And we'll get back to it right after this. So, Byron, the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners met on Tuesday and they discussed redistricting. So, Byron, what they've decided to do is to basically approach them themselves as opposed to hiring a consultant. And that is against the advice of their attorney, Michelle Jordan. What do you think about that?
Yeah, to me, and let's be clear, with county commissioners is similar to anybody that's in a position where you're either a CEO or you're the head of a state. You have different heads of departments that'll, present things to you and give you all the information. So never, ever does county commissioners ever just come up with stuff on their own. Even if they're getting briefed by someone from community development, you've got a county administrator, you've got a head of road department, you've got different department heads, a person over the parks and recreation. You've got different department heads that put things together and present it to them. So for this one time, that's something that hadn't been done in 30 years, 40 years.
35 years.
The five commissioners are gonna sit down together and they're gonna come up with, they don't even know. Look, in my campaign, I didn't even realize how many people lived in District 5. I didn't even use certain places in Jackson County. I was like, I've never even seen this. So they say that they're gonna sit down and rezone the districts on their own. It's just that I think that's just a little too I think it's not being really
ambitious. Yeah. Well,
let's way over ambitious. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do a recap for the viewers. So for those of you that have missed the latest, so what happened was the supervisor of election, Carol Donaway, came before the Board of County Commissioners at the last month's meeting and basically explained to them that the districts, all 5 districts, are disproportionate to each other based on the census data that came back to her. And what that means is a lot of the districts, specifically like 2, 4, and 5, they have way more people in their populations than districts 1 and 3. And Byron, if you can put those numbers up, we have District 1 have 5,956, District 2 have 11,823, District 3 have 7,099 people, and District 4 has 11,440, and District 5 has 11,015. And what that means is they're trying to basically make sure that all the districts in the county are equal, and that magic number is 9,464 that they would like each district to have. So as you see, District 1 and District 3 fall short. And so what they're trying to do is redraw the lines to make sure that all 5 districts are pretty much equal, not regarding voters, but regarding bodies. But here's the key. There is a consent decree that came about in 1986, and it is a court order that basically says District 1 has to remain majority Black. And that was put in place because Jackson County has a history of not being able to allow Blacks to vote their choice and have representation on the Board of County Commissioners. So if you know, District 1 has always had an African-American to represent them on the Board of County Commissioners. Dr. Willie Spires served from the 1980s up until the end of 2020. And then, of course, right now, the current county commissioner is Alex McKinney, who's serving now as well. But Jackson County has only had 2 African Americans on the Board of County Commissioners, and they both are from District 1. So Byron, that's where we are with that.
Yeah, and when you look at it, when it gets deeper, when you this goes all the way back to the Jackson County Wars. To be matter of fact, I mean, Dr. Spires was commissioner for District 1 for what 26 years. And as you were, and so people have to understand. For me, I always had the position that the districts needed to be rezoned, generally because population had changed drastically from what it was when the times they actually came out with it. And then on top of it, when I looked at District 5, for instance, the demographic of District 5 is pretty rural, but you have one of the largest voting turnouts in Indian Springs. Well, Indian Springs, to me, in my personal opinion, should be more akin in District 3 rather than District 5, because those are the same people. District 5 people, most people that live either in Grand Ridge, 2A, most of their concerns are paved roads, more resources, things of that such, internet. That what they want, their wants are not the same and not aligned with folks that live in Indian Springs. So, and it makes sense that, okay, District 5 is 11,000 plus people, and District 3 is cut short. So it'll make more sense to make that adjustment now. But at the same time, me seeing it from my point of view, I know good and well that Byron Dickens or nobody else, no matter how smart I think I am, what makes me a smart person is to realize that, hey, no matter how smart I am, I don't know everything. So I need to get folks that are smart enough to know how to do this and experience with doing this to put this together for me. It just, to me, it just don't make sense to try to heart that and put it all together yourself when that's not your, it's not your area of expertise, nor is it nor is it your job.
Well, the county attorney, like I mentioned, Michelle Blankenship Jordan is her full name. She strongly recommended that the county commissioners get a consultant because of the consent decree, because she's saying if she has to go into litigation, she needs assistance, because
which makes sense.
She did not know. Yes, and this consent decree is solid, is not going anywhere. They are not in compliant right now because of the disparity of the population in District 1 compared to the rest of the districts. And also, right now, District 1 is not majority Black. And that is what the consent decree states. It has to remain majority Black. So now the dilemma is 2 things. Whether or not they get a consultant, because right now the chairman, Jim Peacock, says they can do it themselves. So we'll see how they proceed. That's the first thing. The second thing, we have to see, how do they redraw the lines to make District 1 Black? Do they actually, make District 1 mostly Black? Do they pull from District 3? Do they pull from District 2? Do they pull from District 5? So that remains to be seen. So we'll keep watching this situation, because they do meet again. There's a special meeting on Tuesday night, October the 19th at 5:30 p.m. And it is open to the public, although they are advising that people watch it virtually via YouTube or via Zoom because of COVID-19. But you are welcome to go down to the county administrator office and be in attendance in person. So I strongly, suggest that people in District 1, that you really try to attend via Zoom or via YouTube or in person, because this affects you heavily. And you're trying to see, well, why do they want it to remain majority Black? Well, history has shown District 2, District 3, 4, or 5 do not elect Black county commissioners. They just don't. So that's where we are.
Yeah, and that's the point. I kind of felt like 5 was kind of close in that range to be kind of down the middle with Black and white, but and then here's another point to be made. Even still, even with having one district that is predominantly Black, and have that representation, you still have 5 commissions. So 3-2 is still a majority. So understand that people have to really get engaged and understand how important these local elections are. It's not, I know a lot of people get so caught up in national politics, and whether it's CNN, NBC, Fox News, whatever it is, that's national politics. But I go back to how important it is. If I got a problem and I'm in Walmart, and if I got a spill on aisle 7, I'm not going to call the Walton family to complain. So it's in the same retrospect. You got issues in your community, you can control that. Nobody, Cory Booker, nobody can come down to Jackson County and do anything. The people of Jackson County have to do that. And it starts with getting engaged in something like this, because it hadn't happened in what, 30 years?
35 years, yeah.
And see what I'm saying? And so if we don't, and if people in District 1 and people in any of these districts, because you don't know where they're going to pull from. So you want to make sure that you've got the best leverage, and political party aside, you want to have the best representation of you and where you live at. So once again, you don't want your votes to get drowned out from people that it's not going to bring what you want in your community. So that's my thing. I that's what you have subject matter experts for. You got a lawyer that's giving you, an attorney that has given you
solid advice. Yes.
Take your pride at the door and take it.
I hope they follow her advice, because like I said, this is a legal matter. The consent decree, again, is not going anywhere. The big part of this is the Jackson County NAACP. They are front and center. The consent decree does state that they have to be involved in decisions if anything is done as far as redrawing the line. So they are front and center in this. And so I want to make sure people understand the importance. This is very important, because I don't know if you realize this, also the counties, as well as the Board of County Commissioners and the school district members, school board members, they mimic each other as far as the line. So the school board members are involved as well. They're in attendance. They're around the discussion table. If you know, we only had one African-American in the history of the county on the school board, and we just got that in 2018. So again, why is this important? Why do we have to have a majority Black district? I understand what our forefathers were saying, because they knew the county, and they knew that if we don't have representation in District 1, we won't have it in any other district. And history proves this to be true. District 1, again, is the only district that have ever had a Black county commissioner and Black school board member sitting at the table.
Post Jackson County War. So after emancipation, y'all know that's my big thing. After emancipation, you pretty much had, predominantly Black commissioners and everything, school board and all. But post Jackson County Wars, the dynamic changed. And so we have to be honest, have to know our history. You can't run around talking one way left and right if you don't know your real history and you don't know what you're dealing with and what you're up against. So I would suggest people to just let this soak in, what we putting out, because we put out good information. Let it soak in, but get engaged, get out there. It won't hurt nothing to go on Zoom or what is it, YouTube, or go to a county commissioner meeting and actually be engaged. Because trust me, people showing up in that building, it means a lot. It means absolutely a lot. You may not think it don't, but it actually does, because folks don't get engaged in these things. So yeah, and hopefully hopefully the tide of turning, they'll actually realize. Sometimes, I've had leaders like that where they wanted to do something, they were just bullheaded and doing it, and sometimes you got to let them see for themselves that, hey, sir, you need
some help. Yeah. Byron, let me make sure I do this. The local and state news is brought to you by Brightway Insurance, located in Marianna on Caledonia Street, 2867 Caledonia Street. And they offer property, vehicle, business, as well as life insurance. So please make sure you reach out to them if you need any of those at 850-633-3460. That's 850-633-3460. Again, that meeting is Tuesday, October the 19th at 5:30 p.m. at the county administrator building. So please, be engaged. Again, if you need the Zoom information, just go on the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners website. The Zoom information is out there. If you want to watch it via YouTube, all you have to do is just key in Jackson County Board of County Commissioners, and you can watch it that way, or again, attend in person. But please, again, be engaged, understand what's going on, and basically let the county commissioners know that you're paying attention, and that because this affects the future. What happens is the census is done every 10 years. This should have been done a long time ago, but I'm going to take, the train of thought that perhaps they were afraid because of the consent decree and they didn't know how to approach it. So now, they're going to approach it, but they have to approach it the right way. They can't willy-nilly this, because if they do, they really can be fined right now because they're not in compliance with those two items. The population is way low than where it's supposed to be. And as far as majority, District 1 is no longer majority Black. So again, get engaged, pay attention. Again, I'm going to mention the right way.
The cat is out the bag now. So
it's out the bag. Yeah, we know it. So again, visit Brightway Insurance, located in Marianna. Reach out to TD. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Tell TD Horn that you heard us talking about it right here on Bottom Line with Roni and Byron, and that you're looking for looking for some property insurance, vehicle, life insurance, or business insurance. So give them a shout out at 850-633-3460. All right, I'm going to move on, Byron, to some more things that came out during that meeting on Tuesday for the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners. They named a new road and bridge person. This person is the director. His name is Jeffrey Register. He is the new Jackson County Road and Bridge Director, and they have been looking for someone for the last 4.5 months. So it sounds like he was already, on board, already employee for the county, and that he applied for this position and got it. So that's where we are with that.
What's his name again?
Jeffrey Register. You better write it down, because it's funny when he was introduced, or basically came before the board on Tuesday, they all what's your phone number? Because they always write down his phone number.
He in his first 90 days, he's gonna learn real quick how to get what they call wiggly. You gotta learn how to get real, because he's gonna get a lot of calls. Hopefully, good luck to him. He probably be definitely getting some calls from me as well. So and hats off, I should say, to Rhett Daniels. He was the interim director for Road and Bridge, but he's currently really the public works director, and he got a lot done actually in that 4.5 months that he was filling in. So Rhett, congratulations, thank you for what you've done, and thank you for filling in. So he did a great job. And they thanked him also. The county administrator and the Board of County Commissioners, they all thanked him for filling in. So, all right. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and touch bases too. Another thing that came out, they did something regarding the Endeavor project. Byron, they actually got approved. David Melvin presented. They need to get approved for a senior housing development, and they're going to apply through the Florida Housing Finance Corporation. So what this means is they're trying to have a senior housing development on the grounds at Endeavor. So that's going to be pretty good. They're looking for new ways to, house our seniors. So that's going to be a development right there on the property. And then the other thing is that they kind of adopted a future land use map. They made an amendment to it. It's 320 acres out there near Poozer Road, but they were trying to kind of change the zoning for that and to make that workforce housing a development. So that's going to be interesting too. So Endeavor has a lot, in addition to the autism center that they're working on, the museum. It's going to be housing out there for seniors as well as for workforce. So we got to pay attention to that as well. So it's a lot happening right now. Yeah, that's good news. I on my campaign trail, I talked to a lot of senior citizens, and they voiced how the homes that they live in and they've built over the years is becoming too big for them, and they was looking for something like that, and also transportation and increased ability so they can have transportation so they can go get groceries and things of that such. So that's good to see, a good step towards having some senior housing development out there, as well as other places in Jackson County. So good. Look like some positive things. I'm gonna keep my eye on it.
Yeah, keep your eye on it. So that's all I have. What do you have for national?
So before I begin, People's Funeral Home, because we care, we are here when you need us. Long Granbury Funeral Services Incorporated, doing business as People's Funeral Home, Mariana and Battle Mortuary, Panama City offers services that is within the reach of all. Our caring staff is available 24/7 when the need arises. Our services are designed to commemorate the life being remembered at a price suitable for all. Give Cephas and Gwen a call at 850-482-2233 or stop by for more information. That's People's Funeral Home. So in national news, I got a real quick follow-up. The story about, remember the story about the Marine officer who went on, I think it was Facebook, and he made this big post. It was a Marine lieutenant colonel. This was after the drawdown in Afghanistan. That Marine who criticized the U.S. officials over the Afghanistan withdrawal, he pled guilty to some smaller charges. So his name was Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, and his attorney is saying that his hope is to get him at least a letter of reprimand and nothing more. So the court martial is was scheduled for yesterday at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And we'll find out. I'll keep you updated on what happens. But his attorney told the Washington Post that the specifics of Scheller's potential pretrial agreement are still up in the air, but noted that the Marine was willing to take responsibility for his own actions, and he has demanded of his superiors. Scheller initially went viral for questioning the leadership of senior military officials, but in the end of the day, he may be avoiding that brig, and that's the military prison. But we'll see. 17 years in the infantry, served tours in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and just couldn't keep that mouth shut just a little second longer. But we'll see. Hopefully, the court martial will be according, and he'll see whatever fate he sees. But that's that. So on to my next story. President Biden is hoping to solve holiday shipping crunch. So I don't know if people have been paying attention to the national news, but there's been a global supply of chain bottlenecks. So a lot of, if you've been trying to go buy things and or you ordered some and it's taking forever to get to you, there's been a big bottleneck at the biggest ports in America. So we only have two of the largest ports that are in Los Angeles and Long Beach. And they're threatening, the word about the Christmas shopping season, that Christmas orders and things of that such get backed up. So President Biden,
what's causing it? What's causing it?
Well, they're pulling back from when COVID first hit and everything was kind of moving slow. So then, I guess when people were on their, the Amazon trip and start ordering, now people are coming back out and they got an oversupply of a lot of things on these ports. So they're trying to go ahead and get these things shipped out. So what the plan is having sat down with a bunch of shippers and retailers to announce that they're going to push to have a 24-hour operation. So
wow, that's jobs,
Walmart,
right?
Yeah, that's jobs. I mean, Walmart, UPS, FedEx, a bunch of others, they're all signing on for 24/7 operations to get all of these items shipped out so that they'll be wide open for Christmas and hopefully Thanksgiving. But the president's been facing a lot of criticism because some people saying that it's too late to try. We're middle in October, so we'll see. Hopefully they'll be able to get those jobs filled and people start getting out there and getting those items shipped out.
So, Byron, am I understanding you correctly? You're saying that there's a lot of, I'm just going to speak in layman's term, a lot of packages sitting on these docks that people have ordered and they have not been delivered. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, huge connexes, not just boxes, huge connexes on these ports.
Wait, what's connexes? You got to speak with us. Speak to us.
A connex, a connex is something like if you ever watch trains go by, those long
cargo. Are you saying cargo?
Yeah, cargo. Okay. Those long rectangle metal. Some of them may be burgundy, some may be green, or something like that.
But in these, is it like just stuff that people have ordered? Is that what we're talking about? Just like because I've been getting my packages on time, so I don't know.
Well, now, like I said, I like my mother-in-law. I know she's ordered some things and they've come late, and even businesses such as Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has went up in their pricing because of the shipping shortage because of hiccup. because
Is that true?
Dollar Tree, yeah, Dollar Tree is not selling stuff for $1 anymore.
Is it $1.25? I heard that, but I wasn't sure if it was true. $1.25?
Yeah,
Well, I was just there
25.
yesterday, but I didn't check my receipt. I didn't. I only bought like 4 or 5 items. So I need to look at the receipt. I didn't realize, someone said it to me, but I didn't know if it was true. So they were saying it was going up from $1 to $1.25.
Yeah. And I was thinking they were just getting rid of the whole dollar and trying to even stick with the dollar at all. Just do like the Dollar General, because Dollar General used to be like that when it first started out. Everything was close to $1, and then it just changed. So
of course,
yeah. I mean, the comments that I think was somebody from the administration said that we certainly know addressing those bottlenecks at ports could help address what we see in many industries across the country, and frankly, leading people who are preparing for holidays, Christmas, whatever they may celebrate birthdays, to order goods and get them to people's homes. So I would say that we're putting the information out, but I just hope that people won't kind of get a little too crazy like they did with the toilet tissue, in the height of the pandemic. So folks knowing that it's a shortage and start buying up. So hopefully they'll get this situated in time for the holidays. But I've ordered a few things and I haven't noticed a slip off, but that's been through Amazon. So maybe Amazon's just tip of spirit, I guess. I don't know.
Well, Amazon, we have a last mile distribution center here for Amazon. And what that means is, when the packages come to Jacksonville, if you're I forgot what the radius of Jackson County it is, but they come here and drivers in their own cars will deliver your packages. So it's not through UPS, it's not through United States Postal Service or FedEx. Amazon has their own delivery. Some of them have vans, some of them have their own personal cars. And you'll get the package, and the cool thing is, I think, is when they deliver the package, they'll just sit it on your doorstep and they'll take a picture and they'll send it to you saying your package is delivered. So but that last mile operation is here in Marianna. I think they have about, I don't know, 15 or so drivers. It's not a huge influx, but but it's here. So I think that's why maybe, I'm an Amazon queen, but I get my packages pretty quickly, and that's probably why though.
Yeah, they already got you checked in. Me and you in the same boat. But speaking of holiday season, we got a few things coming up that may help a lot of folks in this holiday time frame. So Social Security recipients will get a 5.9% increase. But rising prices will offset the boost. So don't just but large as it may appear, it's not nearly enough for seniors and people with disabilities on fixed incomes to make ends meet. Some 40% of these beneficiaries depend on the monthly checks for at least 90% of their income, and 2/3 of recipients depend on the payments for at least half of their income. So this boost it's been the largest since, I believe, 1982. The Social Security Administration had announced this spike once again will boost retirees' monthly payments by $92 to an estimated average of $1,657 for 2022. So this is a cost of living adjustment, also known as COLA. But hopefully this increase it's got two different sides to it. So some are saying that because of the increase, it could push the Social Security closure towards insolvency, and basically saying this comes at a national debt that hovers at $28 trillion, and the deficit sits at $3 trillion per the CBO. So they're saying we probably would unable to pay the benefits starting in 2033. At that point, only 76% of benefits could be paid out. So I don't know. And this is coming from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. They estimated that fund. They also stated that Social Security is already on a path to insolvency, and we estimate the higher cost of living payments could deplete the program's trust fund a year earlier than projected. So hopefully they'll come up with a plan to where we get Social Security back in play, where in my age, when I get the age of getting it, and my kids get of age of getting their Social Security, will still be there. But right now, everybody can expect that 5.9% increase, those retirees. Also, we got a fourth stimulus check that should drop today. So that stimulus check should hit the bank accounts today. It's a part of that American Rescue Plan. It's called the biggest child tax credit in history. Half of that tax credit, that total credit amount, will be paid in advance. If people not aware of it, half of the total credit amount will be paid in advance on monthly payments, and you will claim the other half when you file your 2021 income tax. So payments have already came out July 15th, August 15th, September 15th, and now October 15th. So payments are received either by a direct deposit or by check. And for families that have kids up to 5, they receive $3,600. For ages 6 through 17, it drops to $3,000 per child. So half of that amount is paid in monthly installments from July 2021 to December 2021, as shared above in the payout schedule. It's shared in that payout schedule I just laid out. And the other half, you'll be able to file on your 2021 tax credit. So January, February time frame, you'll be able to file for that other half, but you're getting everything up front. So if you're not getting it, you may want to make the appropriate calls. But so that also should help a lot of folks around this holiday season. This is being
and Byron, make sure they know that that's for if you have kids.
Yes, so, that's if you have kids or dependents, kids. If you
and I think it's $250 if your kid is between, was it 6 and 17, maybe? Is that
6 and 17, and then
okay, and then
300
for younger than 6, right? Yeah. Okay. I just want people to know. So check your, and it is direct deposit if you're if they have your banking information. The IRS means if you're signed up with
a lot of people may have gotten it and didn't know they got it.
Yeah, I know. So just check your funds for today. Check your bank account and make sure that if you have dependents, that you do see it.
And so that's my national news. People's Funeral Home, because we care, we're here when you need us. Long Granbury Funeral Services Incorporated, doing business as People's Funeral Home, Mariana and Battle Mortuary, Panama City, offers services that is within the reach of all. Our caring staff is available 24/7 when the need arises. Our services are designed to commemorate the life being remembered at a suitable price for all. Give Cephas and Gwen a call at 850-482-2233, or simply stop by for more information. It's People's Funeral Home.
All right, we'll go to our sports segment then. We have some high school football action tonight. We have Graceville. Graceville actually is at Vernon tonight. Graceville lost last week to John Paul II. That's a school out of Tallahassee. They lost pretty bad, 56-0, but they have a chance to redeem themselves tonight in Vernon. Sneeds Sneeds is in Sneeds tonight. They play Jefferson County. They actually won their homecoming last week. They played Petula Charter, which is a school out of Edison, Georgia. So they won that game 41-6, but they're at home tonight again against Jefferson County. And then Cottondale got their first win last week against Franklin County. Yeah, and they was like putting up some numbers. They won 52-6. Isn't that impressive? First win, and it was their homecoming. So it was fitting. But tonight they're at Weewaw. So we'll see how they go. That's Weewaw Hitchika. And then Mariana is at McClay, which is a school in Tallahassee. That game is actually at 6 p.m. The previous 3 games that I just mentioned, they're at 7 p.m. But Mariana is at McClay tonight. They won their homecoming last week. They beat who did they beat? Bay. They beat Bay 31-19. So good for Mariana. And then Shipley actually plays at home county tonight. And then Bluntstown, they have a bye tonight, but they had homecoming too. And they beat North Florida Christian Byron 72-33. Crazy basketball numbers. 72. Yeah, to 33. But they were mad because the previous week they lost. Remember, they had their first loss the previous week. They lost to Holmes County. Yeah, so last week they came back, with a vengeance and put up those numbers. But tonight they have a night off. So, but their record is 5-1. So Bluntstown, always a strong program. Always a strong program. So, but that's your high school action. And so be sure to check that out tonight. Again, like I said, those 3 Jackson County schools, Graceville, Sneeds, and Cottondale, those actually kick off at 7 p.m., but then Mariana is in Tallahassee. Of course, they're an hour ahead, and that game starts at 6 p.m. And then Bluntstown game starts at, no, Bluntstown has a bye. Yeah, it's a Chipley game. Chipley games at 7 p.m. And then we'll move on to college football. It is week 7. We had some shakeup there. You know, Alabama got beat last week, Byron.
Yeah, Alabama had a
Texas
bad
A&M.
week.
Yeah.
Bad week for Alabama. I didn't even give my friend any problems. I wouldn't even call. I was just gonna let it marinate. But Alabama bad week. Deontay Wilder lost and Alabama loses. But hey, every dog's got his day.
Yeah, I mean, Texas A&M had their numbers. What I say, that score was 41-38. So, of course, Alabama drops in the poll, but Georgia is number 1, and they host Kentucky tomorrow at 2:30. And you can watch that game on CBS. And then Alabama is at Mississippi State. They play at 6 p.m. on ESPN. And then Florida is at LSU, and they play at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Miami is at North Carolina. They play at 2:30 p.m. on the ACC network. And then Florida State has a bye. You know, they won again last week, got their second win. They beat North Carolina 35-25. So they're on a roll, but they do rest this weekend. And then FAMU, they're at Alabama A&M. They won their game last week as well, but you can watch FAMU play tomorrow at 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus. And then BCC hosts Prairie View at 12 o'clock. And then your top 10, again, like I said, we have had a shake up in the top 10. You have Georgia number 1, which they moved up from number 2. Number 2 is Iowa. Number 3 is Cincinnati. Number 4 is Oklahoma. And of course, number 5 is Alabama. That's how they dropped from number 1. Yeah, dropped to number 5. Ohio State is number 6. Number 7 is Penn State. Number 8 is Michigan. Number 9 is Oregon, and then number 10 is Michigan State. So that rounds up your top 10 in the AP poll. So, I want to move on to some NFL news. I know you know about John Gruden resigning on Monday because he got caught in some of the emails that he had sent over previous years. It was over a period of, I think, several years, and it ended in 2018. But John Gruden was popping off at the mouth via email about, just some really sad comments that came out of his mouth, Byron. He was talking to the actual, what's his name? He was the owner. Was he the owner?
Yeah, he was.
No,
he was like an executive.
He was talking to the former president of the Washington football team. They changed the name from the Washington Redskins to the Washington football team, Bruce Allen. So John Gruden was communicating via email several times over several years, calling people homophobic, names, basically, talking down about, gays being in the NFL. He had something to say about women being referees. He talked about Roger Goodell, called him all kind of homophobic slurs, and sexual slurs. I mean, just really inappropriate language that he used via email. And so finally, what really happened, Byron, something else was being looked at, another little investigation, but they came across his emails. And so the New York Times brought it to light, like, look, this is what he's saying. And there we go. So now he resigned. He's no longer in the Ring of Honor at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They took him off like 24 hours later. And it's just a real sad situation, Byron.
Yeah, it lets you know that whatever, because they're not gonna release those emails, but it lets you know whatever in those emails must have been really, really damaging. I'll say this, and I've got two thoughts about this. I'll say this. Everybody has when folks say that they're not racist or they're not homophobic or they're not this and that, why is it when you want to make an insult? I got 1,000 insults I can make about somebody, but why is it when you want to make an insult, the insult is always racist, but then you have to defend yourself and say that you're not racist? I mean, being in the military, I got a bunch of I got a bunch of different tools in the basket that name call somebody and cut deep. But why is it, that's one part of it. Two, I know what he's done and what he's put out there, it's real careless. It kind of speaks to him as you're sending emails. It's pretty much, you might as well write a letter and send it to somebody. You putting stuff out there that is, if someone else saw it, that would mean your job, and you're doing it over the course of years. Ain't like he made one bad email. He was doing this over the course of like 10 years.
Several years.
So how, if you're loose like that with an email, he probably was loose lip like that in different spaces,
conversations.
Well, just only avoiding an actual camera, but outside of that, he probably was,
that's how he talks.
Yeah, and look, I get it. Everybody's got their isms. Everybody's got them. And let's be honest. But the difference is when you work in an organization like that, it's almost close to the military. You work in an organization where it's one of the most diverse places to work. You watch your mouth. And it's not so much about forcing somebody to watch them out, but if you're in a circle with people and your friends, you have to fight and go through the mud with somebody, then you'll watch what you say. Just if you know it's going to upset them, if it's wrong, you're going to watch what you say, and you're going to have their back. It's the same thing in the military. I'm trained to kill and die for this next man or woman. I'm not going to say something. I'm not going to do something derogatory that's going to going to disrespect them. Why? Because I care. Why? Because this same person is going to have my back, might save my life one day. And what does that make me? So, but a lot of times people don't get into that understanding until something gets real, until bullets are flying, and now life and the threat of life kicks in. Sad to say. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if his contract that he's gonna still get paid out, but it's definitely gonna be a life learned lesson for him if it hasn't already. A lot of times people talk a lot and they don't realize, look, man, there's consequences to things like this. So I know they let him.
That's who he is. Apparently, that's who he is.
You ain't gonna change him now.
It says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Yeah, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever was in him that came out. So this is what it says. It says he denounced the emergence of women as referees, as I mentioned before, the drafting of a gay player, and the tolerance of players protesting during the playing of the national anthem, according to the emails. He also sent the messages to, like I said, Bruce Allen, the former president of the Washington football team, and others. It was just him. It was others while he was working for ESPN as a color analyst. But here's what I think is interesting. In the emails, Gruden called the league's commissioner, Roger Goodell, the F word and a clueless anti-football sexual slur, and said that Goodell should not have pressured Jeff Fisher, then the coach of the Rams, to draft queers, a reference to Michael Sam, who was a gay player chosen by the team in 2014. That's his language. I can't even say it on air, but that's his language.
And then he didn't even give like a straight up apology. Like my thing is, I'm a big accountability person, right? So I'm more of a, hey, own it, because there's nothing you can do at this point. You caught with your hand in the cookie jar. You said it, you put it out there, own it, apologize, take your punishment, move on. But this whole kind of like political spin type answer where you dancing around and not owning up to what you do, I'm kind of sick of it. Even in politics, if you mess up, own it. Don't pivot to somebody else or say because this person did this or this group did this. No, you just own it and move on. That's all he can do at this point. He's got no excuses.
It's some more coming out of this, because not only did he criticize, what I just named, but he criticized President Obama. He called him all kind of names, then Vice President Biden. But Demarius Smith, who was the executive director of NFL players, they're looking at that now because he sent a racial email about him. And so they're looking at, what he said. So he's not going to come out just looking pretty. I don't care how much he said, I'm sorry, my apologies. No, that banter is who he is, and he did it over several years, and now it's coming back to bite him. So that's where we are with that. So, all right, we'll keep our eye on that. But again, Jon Gruden is out as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he is also out of the Ring of Hall in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They removed him, so he is no longer in the Ring Hall there. And that's all I have for sports. What do you have for entertainment?
So for entertainment, before I begin, I want to talk about some Two Egg TV. So speaking of Two Egg TV, Two Egg TV is an off the beaten path streaming travel channel. Dale Cox and the Two Egg TV team take you on a digital adventures in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama with travel features and documentaries. You can watch Two Egg TV on YouTube, Roku, and on twoeggtv.com. That's twoeggtv.com. So in entertainment, I've got, I don't know how many people follow hip hop like that, but the rapper Tyga he was arrested for felony domestic violence after alleged altercation at his Hollywood Hills home. Rapper Tyga has been arrested on a felony domestic violence accusation. This was confirmed by Fox News, I believe. A spokesperson for the Los Angeles PD put out that the rapper, whose real name is Michael Stevenson, how about that, turned himself into the department's Hollywood precinct around 7 a.m. local time Tuesday as a result of an incident which police said occurred the day before. The rapper is being held on a $50,000 bond. According to TMZ, his ex-girlfriend, Cameron Swanson, at his home in the famous Bird Street area of the Hills, the gossip outlet maintained that sources said that Swanson arrived at Tyga's home, began acting belligerent. The situation apparently escalated and allegedly turned violent. I think she posted some pictures on Instagram. So this kind of took light. Her injuries from the alleged altercation was right in a post. She stated that she's been emotionally, mentally, and physically abused, and I'm not hiding it anymore. Hence the arrest of rapper Tyga. So we'll see what follows up with that. If people don't
also stay out of the relationship, stay out of it, because a lot of times they go back. So we'll watch that. But yeah.
Yeah, and if people don't know, he's also Tyga was previously dated Kylie Jenner. He also shares a son with Black China. So if you follow the Kardashians, you may know about Tyga. He's got some couple of hits out there. Okay. And my next story, Smokey Robinson. Everybody's getting hit with the COVID. Smokey Robinson was rushed to the hospital with COVID. And he stated, "I could have died." Smokey Robinson, 81 years old, looking good. And he attributed to his good health, that helped him pull it out. He revealed that COVID-19 really had a hold on him late last year. That's really what he said. It's not a point to one of his old classic songs. Leaving the Motown legend fearing that he would never sing again. So he had lost his voice as well. The voice such classes of "You Really Got a Hold on Me," "I Second That Emotion," and "Tears of a Clown." He even wrote "My Girl," that's a big favorite from the Temptations. So they had to rush him to the hospital. He got severely ill, and he stated that, "I was hospitalized for 11 days, and 4 or 5 of those I do not even remember. I really was touched and was terribly in a debilitating ailment." So kudos to him. He's come out of it. He says, "Now I work out almost every day because I don't want to get that virus again. Even though I've had both of my shots," he said, "I had to work on my vocal cords and get myself back together. I knew this was what I wanted to do with my life, and it was possible, so I did it." So kudos to Smokey Robinson for pulling out of that daggone COVID.
I'm glad he got better. I actually met him, Byron, in about 2004, 2005 in Los Angeles. I was with my cousin, who at the time was a producer for NBC, and they did a piece during one of the, I think it was during the Grammys, and I went with her while they was doing the interview, basically, and that's how I met him. Real nice man, sweet man. Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Yeah, nice looking man too. Yeah,
I bet. Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I've met a few, but that's cool. So in my next stories, we hadn't seen it much, but it's quite shocking. Brett Favre must return $828,000 in welfare funds to Mississippi or face civil lawsuit. State auditor says Favre accepted 1.1 million in funds from two nonprofit organizations for speaking engagements that he never attended. According to Mississippi's Today's Ann Wolf, Favre received a letter from the state auditor's office that stated illegal expenditures and unlawful dispositions were made when you knew or had reason to know through the exercise of reasonable diligence that the expenditures were illegal and or the dispositions were unlawful. So former NFL quarterback.
Basically, he knew better.
Yeah. I mean, it's
He knew
crazy.
better.
Yeah, they said they
It's
actually
shocking.
stated here that the this was like the largest embezzlement scheme in Mississippi history.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like
he's
there's some
tagged,
people already arrested.
yeah, he's tagged along with this, and it's not looking good.
Yeah.
He actually, it says he accepted the funds for speaking. Says he spent, he owes, he actually did something with reason why he owes 828,000
Because he paid some
and
of it
not
back
those.
already.
Yeah, he received
Yeah.
500,000 in December of 2017 and 600,000 in 2018. So he paid some of it, but he still owes
Back.
that remaining 828,000, which is
Yeah.
crazy. You know, I don't see how he didn't know that something was janky going on.
Yeah.
$1.1 million is a lot of money. So
Yeah. And then you didn't even show up to speak. So you think
I mean,
you don't think that's not right? Yeah.
yeah.
That's and I'm shocked because of who he is, his character. You would think he would have had better judgment than to get involved with something like this. Now, it did say he is not currently facing any type of criminal charges, but if he does not pay it back within 30 days of that letter, he will be, subject to a civil suit. So,
yeah. So it's this, I think it's Shad White that made the statement. The Mississippi State Auditor, he stated that I think it was John Davis. He is currently awaiting trial on embezzlement charges. So he's facing those criminal charges, but right now,
Favre
isn't. So
yeah.
But taking welfare money to get paid, man. That's
a lot of money. $1.1 million, and you don't show up to speak. Anyway, all right, let's go on. So, that's somebody that may lead to our relationship T topic, because sound like he kind of compromised his core values, who we thought the values that we thought he had. He just seemed like always upstanding guy throughout his playing time. But our relationship T topic is what do you do when you're in a relationship, whether it's friends or family, but that causes you to compromise your core values of who you are?
Relationship T.
That's the relationship T topic today. What do you do when you have relationships that cause you to compromise your core values and who you are? I mean, in that case, apparently he was around somebody that either, kind of encourage him to do it, or just kind of say, hey, don't worry about it. Something went wrong. I mean, but apparently we thought he was someone differently that would have had better judgment. But like I said, relationships can influence some people to do the wrong thing. So what do you do?
Yeah, I'm in that. Every relationship is a compromise.
But you don't want them to compromise who you are, though. You don't want that.
No.
And core values and your values.
Yeah, every relationship is a compromise, even if it's your friends, your brother, your significant other. It's all a compromise. But when you have to compromise, once again, who you are, your core values, what you believe in, that's when you got to take a step back. That's where good communication comes into play. But you also got to have a little integrity there, because this is where the peer pressure comes into play in grade school, high school, and even in adulthood, where hey, I don't want to lose this person as a friend, but I'm going to do something that I know and I know in my heart of hearts is wrong, and I'm not in agreement with. That's something that you don't do. Another thing that I take from it is that you can compromise so much to the point where you're being used. You can give, you can compromise everything, and then next thing you know, you doing all the giving, you doing all the compromising. That's another aspect that you have to be conscious of. So I would say, as a person, no matter what relationship you're in, no matter if it's a friendship, no matter if it's your significant other, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, husband, wife, brother, sister, cousin, make sure that you're getting exactly what you're giving in. Because a lot of times somebody's you somebody's friend, but they're not your friend. You know,
That's
you
true.
somebody's girlfriend or you somebody's boyfriend, but they're not yours. And
Mhm.
and that's what compromise come in, because you got I'm big on 50-50, and I give you everything I got, but we got to give the same thing in, not 60-40. I think it was Teddy Pendergrass, not 70-30, but I'm talking about that 50-50 love, you
Yeah.
know. So
But Byron, that's too ties into like what we're saying as far as, you know, when you're giving and taking the relationship, but you don't want the person who you're in relationship with to overpower you into doing something that's not correct. You know what I'm saying? That's compromising who you are, or that's encouraging you to go down a different path than what you believe in. I mean, so compromise has, you know, a broad definition. However, it ties into, you know, it ties into each other. So in relationships, like you said, it's a basically a give and take relationship. But if you're in a relationship that's dominant, being dominated by a person that's not a good person, and you're being influenced to doing something, then you need to cut the relationship. That's the
yeah,
bottom line.
yeah, bottom line.
That's the bottom line. Yeah. I
And
mean,
why you kicked up enjoying yourself, you know, watch you some TV and get you some of that 2 egg TV, because I gotta throw that plug in again. Hey, 2 egg TV is an off beaten path streaming channel. Dale Cox and the 2 egg TV team will take you on that digital adventure, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, with travel features and documentaries. You can catch them 2 egg TV on YouTube, Roku, or go to 2eggtv.com. So while you're sitting there with your significant other, don't compromise too much. Tell them you want to get some of that 2 egg TV.
but just, yeah, right. But just, you know, again, with this, just, you know, make sure you, when you're in a relationship, you know, you're giving and receiving equally, you know, as much as possible. You know, sometimes seasons change and you may be the giver if that person needs more. And then sometimes you may be on the receiving end. So it is a give and take, but it should never be where you're always giving. And it should never be where you're compromising who you are. So just remember that. And if you get in that situation, you have to what? Let it go.
You gotta let it go. I'm gonna use one of those my old economics, or was it accounting? I think it was economics, one of those economics. Cost benefit analysis. If it costs more than it benefits you, then you got to go. You got to go.
Got to go. Got to go. Got to go. All right, Byron, I think we are up against the clock, but I do want to take this opportunity to mention the Faith Over Fear project. Byron will have the information. I'm sure he's running it. He's been running it all show, but I want to make sure that people are engaged in this project. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the project I've chosen is Health Project I've chosen is Faith Over Fear Project. It is the donation of hat wigs to the women at the Dothan Hematology Oncology, which is a facility in Dothan, Alabama. But the donation of hat wigs to the women that have been diagnosed with breast cancer and is going through chemotherapy treatment. So if you want to participate and get engaged in this project, please look at the information on the screen. The address is 287 Health West Drive in Dothan, and you can mail that to the Dothan Hematology Oncology, care of the Faith Over Fear Project. For more information, you can also go to Total Body by Roni's Facebook page and get the information there as well. And for those that have already participated and given the donations of the hat wigs, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks everybody for watching this show. We hope you were enlightened, informed, and entertained. That's our goal here at Bottom Line with Roni Byron. And remember, when you know the truth, you can speak the truth, and the light shines brighter when it shines for two. See you next week.